Hey guys, welcome back to Castle Combat TV, and in this video, I will be giving you guys some trading tips and pointers for the upcoming summer. Or the first two candidates I have are Andromeda and Aurora. So elves are back to neutral good. You need the gray ones. If you have an Aqua Andromeda or an Aqua Aurora, what you could do is find someone that has like a neutral Aurora, trade away your Aqua and then a base shiny. And you can tell them like, oh, you're getting Andromeda back and you're also getting an extra shiny, which is a good deal. So trade for these guys while they're cheap, because in about a year when these cards are basically back to where they were before when they were in their prime, you're gonna have to give up 3-4 shinies for these cards. I would try to get these cards now and just hold on to them. And also they're very nerf proof. Andromeda and Aurora, they have been the same for a very long time. The biggest nerf they actually got was the color change, but we're not doing that anymore. So these cards are 100% nerf proof, so you don't have to worry about trading now and then realizing you can't use it later because of a nerf because they were too good. So that is the first buy low candidate. Moving on to our next two cards, we have Morvania and Vanya. So these two cards will get overlooked. You guys, I can't stress how good these cards are if you know how to trade places and know when to. So Morvania, big showdown, daughter of Morgan and Vanya. Before battle, Morvania can trade places with Vanya or King Morgan from deck or hand. Morvania can declare highest or lowest battle score wins the battle. So that card is insanely good. If you know what King Morgan does, and if you know what Vanya does, and for people who are not familiar, Vanya, lowest battle score wins. If an epic battle with Prince Morgan, then Princess Vanya is -1 power. Before battle, you can trade places with Vanquish or Prince Morgan from deck or hand, and that also means King Morgan. If you guys like the Nightshade, the Necrocloak, and Nitro the Necromancer combo, this is basically that, but even better, because you have a trio. You have King Morgan that can call an epic battle, negate, reroll, and heal, and whenever you see these two cards, it's basically a King Morgan. If you can get your hands on these two, this one might be a little hard to get because it's a King's Return card. I would try to get it now, and then because next summer this card is going to be meta, because I'm planning on releasing a brand new like Queen Vanya variant, which is going to be very, very good. And this is going to be an insane combination. You're either gonna have to switch to a general that can heal and call a big battle and everything I said before, to a lowest battle score. It might be a power 2, we never know. Moving on to our next buy low candidates. They are King Rigel, Evergreen, and Olive. So very, very strong cards. King Rigel, people forget what you can do with this card. And if you pair it up with Vanya before, so King Rigel, trade places with any green good guy from basically anywhere except dungeon. So Rigel will trade places with Vanya, and then Vanya switches places with King Morgan, which is just insane. It's a 2-layer swap. You swap it to Vanya, then to Morgan. Now moving on to Evergreen, a great long-term value card, very nerf proof. The reason why he's a great long-term value card is because he adds 1 power to green beasts, trolls, elementals, ancients, and dragons, and this is the base variant, so it's very, very easy to get and very cheap, and it's a great card to hold on to, because I guarantee there is going to be dozens and dozens of green beast, green dragons coming out in the future, and when those cards come out, people that held on to Evergreen will be able to create really, really strong combinations with that. So Evergreen has a great long-term value, and Olive is also a very good long-term value card. So if you guys don't know what she does, if you're frozen elemental, roll a die. If you roll 2 or higher, then you're frozen to dungeon +2 versus black bad guy. So same thing. Olive, very nerf proof. She's 100% nerf proof, which means that she's never going to get nerfed, because cards that specialize against a certain warrior type often never get nerfed, because the argument is like, oh, they're only good against elementals. If they fight a knight, then they're screwed, which is true for Olive. But Olive is a great card to have long term. It's always good to have a card that specializes against one specific faction, because they're 100% nerf proof. You can always have this card in your back pocket, and Olive is that card. So those are my buy low candidates. There are a bunch more, but I want to keep this video a little short. So we're gonna move on to the sell high candidates, the cards you should be trading away. I have 8 sell high candidates here. One of them is Cosmos. He fell off hard. He demanded a lot of shinies when he first came out, but he's pretty mid. That's basically how you can summarize him. He's just a base shiny now. He's been in the Big 18, and for people who are unfamiliar with the Big 18, that is the base shiny set. Basically the most common shinies that you can get, like Grendel, Cole, and Onyx. So he's just as common as them, but Cosmos, I don't see him being part of the meta because he doesn't count as neutral good. He's gonna stay Aqua, so he's pretty bad in my opinion. Moving on to our next card, it is the Grail Ultra Rare Limited Quest Edition. So the reason why this card is on the sell high list is because it's basically in the Big 18 set. I was looking in the base set or in the previous orders, this card and Cosmos were all in the Big 18, so it's just as common as a Cole now. So, and there's no difference than this one and the one you're gonna pull and the one that was like a couple months ago when there was the quest for the Grail, which is like a really big deal. So this Grail can definitely be used to spice up trade packages, especially after it made an appearance on my top 10 iconic card list. So I would trade this away while you have that knowledge, because there's a really good chance you open another pack and get it. So you can probably trade this card for like 2-3 shinies and then pull it from a pack later. So that is the Grail. Moving on to our next card, it is Shiny Humbug. So Shiny Humbug, I know it hurts to put this card on here, huge part of the meta, but as I said, the meta is changing. So I would trade this Humbug away to someone who's really hung up on the idea that the black bad guys are forever. So trade that away to them and get a lot of good guy cards in return. Include it in a trade package for someone who might not be using any of these cards or doesn't see the potential for some reason. He's a very good card, don't get me wrong, but he's not like over the top. Moving on to our next 3 cards, they are red cosmic cards, Char, Tritanium, and Seth Starspan. So I was never a huge fan of cosmic cards, so they don't hold a lot of value to me, so I wouldn't trade a lot for them. But there's a lot of people that really like cosmics, and the reason why I'm saying red ones is because, remember, the red pyramid hasn't come out yet, and what we're gonna see is something similar to Jade Twinblade. Because if for people that remember Chronos, Abacus, Vortex, and Jade Twinblade herself, those green cosmic cards were pretty mid, except for the Command Jade Twinblade. And then since the Green Pyramid came up, we released better versions of Chronos, Vortex, Abacus, and Jade Twinblade, and they were shiny. So what I'm trying to say is these cards are rare now, so try to trade them away now for super high prices, and then just wait until the Red Pyramid comes out, and then there's going to be a better Seth, a better Tritanium, and a better Char, and are all going to be shiny. They're going to have the exact same front, but if you want to hold on to them because they're rare, that's all up to you. But moving on to our final 2 cards, we have Shroud and Kyanite. Try to make huge trade packages for one of these 3 cards. I just dropped it, but one of these 3 cards. I would do, like, for Mother Vega, I'll give you Shroud, Kyanite, Humbug, Grail, and Cosmos. I would literally give all 5 of these for Mother Vega because there's only 5 of them, and it's never coming out again. So these you can definitely pull again, but these 5 should be traded for Mother Vega. So that's basically the point of the sell high section in the video, because I'm just saying, like, these cards, they might be really good now, but in the long term, they're going to be pretty obsolete in the new meta, and try to trade them now and make big trades for the cards that will basically never get nerfed. These 2 are very volatile to a nerf. Kyanite, he's overdue for a huge nerf like that, and I wouldn't be surprised in the near future we just say no Reality Rift. That shouldn't be a real thing, because Kyanite, he was a fan-made card and shouldn't have been in the game. I'm not saying Kyanite's a bad card. I'm a huge fan of Kyanite. He's just too good and is very volatile to a nerf. And Shroud, right here, there are 6 new Shrouds coming into the Big 18 for the summer, so the Shroud is just as common as Cola Torch, Onyx, and like Grendel, because he just added it to the Big 18 set. So trade him away now. You can definitely sell him to a person that is running a black bad deck and is missing the Shroud. That is basically that part of the video. All right, so that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I don't do many videos talking about trading cards in like the Castle Combat economy because it's all relative, but since I'm the one who controls what goes into the game and what cards get nerfed, I can tell you with 100% certainty that these cards are going to be suboptimal in the new meta, going to be more common, and obviously are going to be less rare. So and also are coming back, like these 3. And then these are cards that you should be holding on to, because all these cards here are nerf proof, but these cards right here are either A, going to be very strong in the meta, going to be less common, or 3, carry a lot of long-term value like Olive and Evergreen. All right, that's everything I have to say. Make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.